All right. I'm still going at it, even though the last video that I was recording kind of got cut off because I didn't have any more storage space, which I suppose it's a common issue for people who do YouTube or who try to do YouTube. So I suppose the last one I was recording about doubting about your writing, doubting in your writing, I will just cut it short and yeah, whichever sentence was the final one will be the final one. But yeah, chaotic energy continues. I'm actually not sure. Like, do you ever feel like sometimes you're a bit chaotic on in your brain and chaotic in your thoughts, and you're kind of jumping from topic to topic and kind of having a lot of stuff in your head at the same time? Like an audiobook you're listening and the stuff you're working on and like what's happening at your workplace and like this podcast as well and like this TV show, whatever, like it's happening, it's all inside. It's like meshing and like making you kind of like swerve sharply from one space to the next, from one topic to the next. And I feel like it's a bit chaotic, to be honest. Like it's maybe even not a bit. Maybe even it's very chaotic actually. But yeah, I mean, I kind of had a whole list of topics, and I'm wondering which one to pick out. And the one that kind of like jumps at me, I would say, is the topic of I would say like being one on one with the unknown when you're writing, and being one on one with this thing that nobody knows anything about, which is kind of that creative space above, like below, around, whatever. Like being one on one with this thing where the ideas come from and the inspiration comes from and the muse comes from, and also the solitude of it. I feel like it's a very important concept and a very important thought that nobody is actually supposed to understand your ideas and your vision and your the things that you see subconsciously inside of you, or like whenever. Sometimes you even see them almost visually. This idea that nobody really can touch them until you express them, until you put it on paper and put it out there. This idea that nobody really understands it, that you're really alone with your ideas and with your inspiration and with the stuff that comes to you. There was a very good video. I'm not sure if I will put it in the description if anyone's interested, but it was by Christian Walker, which is a channel with not many videos, but they are all gold, I feel like, where he talks about this topic. And I think the video is titled You Have to Go All In on Your Dreams and Your Purpose. And he talks about this thing that if something has been put on your heart, if something has been put inside of you, if you feel something and if you've got some kind of idea, inspiration, this wind from somewhere, this thing that is inside you, that you feel, that you keep thinking about and keep like thinking how to make it happen, then nobody's really there to kind of like understand it. And even your close relatives or friends or loved ones or your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they are not supposed to really like understand it as you do, and they are not supposed to support it neither. They can support you, of course. They can get behind you, they can be your fans as a person, but they do not know what you know. They do not see what you see. Like this thing that has been put inside of you is yours. And sometimes I feel like a lot of people struggle, and I've struggled and I still struggle. Well, writing is a struggle. But I still struggle with this thing that nobody can really understand it until they see it. Nobody can really get on board with this idea until they actually see it realized. Like even the readers, they cannot understand until they have the text in front of them. Even if I try to talk about it, that's why I actually don't talk about it that much. Like whenever I have an idea, I don't really talk about it. I don't really explain to anyone. I don't really like elaborate. And I even feel guilty sometimes when I talk about it before it's finished. Simply because I'm not I'm not I can't explain the way I believe in it. I can't make other people believe in it. And I cannot make them support it. And it's fine. It's just a lot of solitude, you know. And I feel like it's a very solitary occupation. This could be like another 10 videos, to be honest, but it's a very solitary life. It's a very solitary path. It's a very solitary work. I feel like I look like a bit triste, a bit sad, but it's a very solitary space to be in because you could be alone with that thing, that unknown thing, for years, for decades, for months, for days. From the beginning until the end, you're alone with this thing. Completely and totally alone. And if you begin describing it, like for example, you got the idea for example for something and you describe it, and the other person is like, "Oh, looks interesting, but how would that work? I'm not sure. How would this work? Are you sure? Are you positive that this is the right angle? Are you sure that this is how the story has to be told? Are you like that confident in your ability to tell it? Are you like, you know, do you really think it's like that much of a good idea?" And I feel like if I tell you right now the ideas for good books that are known all over the world, people would be like, if they didn't ever hear of those books, they would be like, "Oh, do you think it's that interesting? I don't know. Do you think it's that interesting? That book about, you know, a teenager who all of a sudden discovers he's a wizard and like goes to school for wizards? Like, okay. Do you think that's that interesting? Like that book about a woman who like was unfaithful to her husband with like some socialite and then was so overwhelmed by love and other emotions that she jumped under a train. Like, don't you think it's a bit much? Like that story? Like, isn't that storyline a bit too much? Don't you think? Like, why would she jump under a train? Like, why wouldn't she just divorce him or sometimes like find another lover or find another 10 lovers or you know, like why would she kill herself? Like, don't you think it's a bit gross? Like, it's very tragic. Like basically any book I could give you any book and I myself could invent like a bunch of stuff where I just wouldn't understand. And so many books I feel like if you haven't read them and if you haven't experienced that experience that the author leads you through, you don't get it. You don't get it. Like you don't get why that works, why that School of Wizards works, why like that world works until you see it and you enter it. And that's the issue because sometimes you are so alone and you're so desperate and you're so like alone with this thing inside of that building that nobody sees but you see, and you're so riddled by like that sense of being completely isolated with it, like closed in, locked in. Like from one side it's a gift, it's a gift. If I was like a religious person, I would just say that it's a gift from God. It's a gift that has been bestowed upon you. It's the thing that you received from above, from nothing. You've got the idea, you've got the thing, you've got the words. Go with it. Go with the flow, go with the wind. Go with the in that direction. It's a gift, it's your gift. It's been given to you. Like whenever you get the gift, you gotta accept it. But from another perspective, and I think if you're a writer, you know what I mean. Like when you're on the page number 60 or number 100 or number 120 and you're already like so far into the story, mm, and you're so alone and you've poured into it so much of your heart and so much of your concentration and so much of your mind, of your body, of your like ability, of your talent, of your skill, of your instinct, of your capacity. Like, even if we assume that you don't have any talent, like I don't have any talent, whatever, like it's possible. It's always possible. You haven't tried it. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But the thing is, like, you're so alone with this shit. You're so alone. You cannot even complain to anyone. Like, sometimes you can get support from the writing groups and the reading groups and whatever. But like, if you have ever truly experienced it, you're just in the room in front of your computer or your notebook or something, and you're alone there. And it's the greatest gift because you can do whatever. You can do whatever, write whatever, be whomever. Like, nobody is your manager, nobody is your guide, nobody is your muse, nobody's directing you in any way. You just can let yourself go and be free in that room alone with the piece of paper. But also at the same time, you're so fucking alone that sometimes you just want to, like, I don't know, someone to applaud you on the effort you're making, I guess. Sometimes to validate your ideas, someone to validate the work you are doing, and until you're like famous or whatever, or like known or recognized, or like until you finish that thing, there is no recognition coming. There is no applause coming. There is no support coming. Nobody's like acknowledging if it's good or not. Nobody gives a shit. And that's why it's such a hard thing to do, I think, as well. Not saying that you cannot do hard things, but that wrestling with the unknown, that wrestling, that like everyday struggle and joy, but also struggle with that solitude, that you're always alone with this concept, that you're always alone with those people who are your heroes. You're always alone in that space, in that magical space that you create for yourself. Because sometimes you wish you wouldn't be. You wasn't. You weren't, sorry. Sometimes you wish there was someone there to hold your hand and to just say, it's good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna work out.